notes. Come back in half an hour. Now I'm tired. So I'd seen him work like really long hours. I was like, maybe I'll go a little later. You don't feel really good when somebody is sleeping, you to wake them up. So I was sitting outside his room. I saw him get into his bed and he was off. So I said I didn't want to disturb him, so I was sitting outside. 32nd minute, he opens the door. I said, did I not ask you to come in after half hour? He was up fresh. To have that kind of accessibility is the first step to find that happiness. Do we have that kind of accessibility? So the first layer to start that accessibility is to start with something that can be tangible. So the first step to start with is the tongue. The tongue has two ways it works, as an organ of perception and as an organ of action. It speaks and it tastes. So as a speech, an organ of speech, to have accessibility, what does it mean? These are the 5 questions that one has to remember to find the accessibility. If you find that you have answered these 5, then you are growing in your freedom chart and getting closer to your state of happiness, which is your being. So are you ready for the 5 questions? First one. When to speak? You should know is it your moment to speak? When to speak? When not to speak? You shouldn't feel sorry or out of place. You should know when not to speak. When to speak, when not to speak. How to speak? How much to speak? And then, when to stop? When to speak, when not to speak, how to speak, how much to speak, and when to stop. In any one of these 5.
Swamiji, what is the difference between 4 and 5?
Which one?
How much to speak and when to stop.
How much to speak is, what kind of intensity that you speak. Like you go into a kindergarten class and there you have to explain rain. You don't start the water molecule and start explaining the evaporating system. Tell them a story. I would say to them, there is a white elephant up there. Okay. It needs cleaning. It's very difficult to find that mischievous white elephant. So once a year they do a nice cleanup of that elephant and all that water falls down. And I said, is it that dirty water? Just tell a story there. The same kid, when he comes to the 5th grade, you tell the same story, he'll boo you out. Come on, give us something substantial. So you tell them the science behind it, right? So similarly, you look at the environment as to how it has to be delivered and how much they can handle. And accordingly, give whatever they can handle. Right? And when to stop. Sometimes you speak and the other person is maybe hurting by the way you speak. Because it has been seen that you physically hit somebody, they'll get over that pain. But you verbally abuse somebody, the hurt stays longer. You see that your words are hurting somebody, and there is some kind of a vicious joy that we get, kick out of it. That we keep rubbing it in. You better know where you should stand. And you keep rubbing it with those words. You should know when to stop. Because sometimes these words are like the arrows that have been already shot. Once shot, you cannot pull them back. This is at the level of speech, gain the control. The second thing is at the level of taste. Eat in a disciplined manner. Eat not just because the food is there. Eat because it is time to eat. Eat because you are hungry. Otherwise, it is like a bottomless pit. So morning coffee, then comes something else, then comes something else. It keeps going on and on and on. Keep a disciplined pattern. A disciplined pattern wherein it is easy to not eat, but it's very difficult to eat the right amount, right nutritive amount, and eat it with that regularity wherein your health is maintained in an optimum level. So once you gain control over the first one, the rest of them to gain control and accessibility becomes easier. The most difficult one to gain control, the grossest one, is the tongue. Once the tongue is under control, the rest of the organs of perception, action, even in the mind, to gain control and the freedom becomes easier. Once that is gained, on this platform of freedom, to find happiness becomes easy. So the first step is to start with the organs of perception and action, and that to start with the tongue. Simple step to start with.